Exercise 13. Let's start. Let me start by congratulating the government that it did not give in to the temptation of postponing the start of the 9th 5-year plan, and also that it has convened this meeting of the council within a short time after measuring power. I am circulating a note giving our detailed response to the approach paper, which I hope all members will find time to go through. Respected Prime Minister, as can be seen from my note, there are several points on which we have little difference with what is said in the approach paper. At the same time, there are points on which our assessment differs or we hold different views. We have no dispute at all with the opening statement of the approach paper that the principal task of the 9th plan is to usher in a new era of people-oriented planning in which not only the government at the center and states, but the people at large, particularly the poor, can fully participate. We fully agree that participatory planning process is an essential precondition for ensuring equity as well as accelerating the rate of growth of the economy. In this context, you may be pleased to note that we in Kerala have already initiated action in this direction. We have decided that 40% of the outlay for the 9th plan will be developed to the local bodies. The 3-tier elected bodies in my state have covered the Gram Sabhas and ward conventions and have listed out the local priorities. They are now in the process of projectization and formulation of local level plans. These plans will be incorporated in the state plan. We remember with gratitude your visit with us, respected Prime Minister, on November 1st to bless the People's Campaign that we have launched to mobilize grassroots level participation in the planning process. I should not forget to add here that all the political parties in the state are fully cooperating in this campaign. We also share fully with the Planning Commission the belief that the principal task of planning in a federal system is to evolve a shared vision of and a shared commitment to the national objectives. Basically, of course, the overriding objective has to be that of growth with equity, as the approach paper affirms. We are all for aiming at an accelerated rate of growth for the 9th plan, considerably above the rate of growth during the 8th plan. That is the commitment which the common minimum program explicitly makes, and there is no going back on the commitment. In this context, I must express my serious reservation with regard to the complementary references to the growth during the past 5 years. Experts have shown that growth performance of the Indian country during 1991-96 with 1990-91 as the base year works out to significantly below that in the two preceding the year periods. Also, the approach paper itself notes that during the past 5 years, there were not only substantial shortfalls in investments in agriculture and infrastructure, but also that whatever growth did take place was such that it had not benefited the poor, and the underprivileged. Employment growth was below target, regional income disparities deteriorated, and inflation was higher than that during the 7th plan period. More recently, there has been marked jump in the prices of wheat, rice, and other essential commodities. This must have affected the poor very adversely. In the light of such an assessment, it should be obvious that major corrections are called for in the policies to be pursued during ninth plan. This is where we have some serious differences. While we agree with the Planning Commission that in pursuing the goal of accelerated economic growth with equity, we should also work for self-reliance. It has to be emphasized that one of the major preconditions for self-reliance is to assign a robust role for domestic savings. Then we can attract external capital from a position of strength. We have urged for a target of domestic savings at 30% of gross development production by the end of the ninth plan period, with the public sector contributing at least 4% of gross development production per annum. We agree that revenue deficits of central and state governments need to be eliminated altogether, but one major cause of the high revenue account deficit, namely interest liabilities, has ballooned. This was almost altogether due to the interest rate policies of the past 5 years. On the revenue side, we totally disagree that while the center has more or less exhausted the scope for mobilizing additional revenue, but that the states can raise it significantly. The center has hold over all the buoyant and elastic tax sources, where the states are left with only sales tax. Even there, the center has chosen to restrict our freedom of action. I do not want to do understood, however, to assure that states could not mobilize more revenue. Stop. Thank you.